Time for paint booth engage. Well, first I gotta move this and this and this and this and that and slide that over and slide. First I gotta move everything, and then, I gotta just kind of double check my prep work and do some masking and all that stuff. But then, paint booth engage. We're painting that firewall, baby.
Likes are still free. Hit the button.
All right, you two need to get a little closer together. It's all right, we're all family. We all love each other. If I could just get you to get over there. Thought this was gonna be a little easier. Yep. So yeah, you just don't be jealous of his shiny stacks.
Nice.
And you don't be jealous, well, you don't have much to be jealous of, but you guys will get along just fine. It's just temporary. And then we can separate you again. Hopefully soon. I got the 55 centered in the paint booth area. I got kind of the mess cleaned up, stuff scattered, moved around. There's a plastic wall that's gonna come down right here, and another plastic wall that'll come down right here, and that'll keep some of the overspray off everything else. This stuff has to stay 65 degrees once you spray it. It'll be that warm tomorrow, but it's gonna get down in the 20s overnight. So I got the heater over there, so once you put the walls down, I can crank it up and keep it warm enough that the stuff will cure correctly. The plan is to spray the firewall and the trunk. Most of the prep work, I mean, it should be good to go. Like, I got it all ready. Obviously, I'm gonna have to blow it off. Everything will need wiped down with like a wax and grease remover, and we gotta do some mask. I'm gonna paint. I keep saying paint, it's gonna be primer, epoxy primer, the SPI Epoxy, same thing I painted the frame with, and it can be left as a top coat if it's not like exposed to sunlight. A lot of people paint their firewalls and stuff with it. I think it's kind of the look I'm going for. If I could actually pick a color, I would maybe rather have a body color, but I don't know what color I'm painting still, and it may just end up being flat black. I'm gonna paint black. Prime, you know, all this yellow, kind of this under panel stuff on both sides. I'll probably try to blow that out. Might as well epoxy black that. So, you know, the body panels, doors, window needs masked off. And then other than that, should be ready to go. I'm a little leery. I don't know if I'm leery, but SPI Epoxy, they recommend epoxy and then filler work. I obviously did the filler work on bare metal, which I don't think is a huge deal. I haven't sprayed any of this SPI over the filler work yet. They say you can. I think it might just take an extra coat because it kind of absorbs a little bit. So I'm hoping that, you know, once I spray it, you're not still going to be able to see this filler work through it. On my son's truck, we used Summit brand epoxy, and you could pretty much see filler work through that stuff. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. If it does, you know, we'll just have to top coat it. Back here in the trunk area, it's going to be same thing, SPI Epoxy black, and then I'm going to, I don't know if you guys watch the video where I Raptor lined. It's pretty dark under there, so maybe you can't see, but the whole bottom of the car is Raptor lined. So I have some Raptor liner left, and I'm gonna put that in the trunk. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do just the trunk floor or the tubs and the sidewalls. Probably end up just doing it all. I don't know. Trunk lid, I think I'm gonna take it off when I spray. It's pretty much ready. I gotta do a little more work to that around the latches and whatnot, but I think I'll take it off, set it aside, and either spray it later or spray it now, just spray it separately. And then I might like Raptor line just inside those little panels so it looks a little different. Who knows? We'll decide when we get that far. Most of the prep work again is done back here. I gotta blow it all out. It's got, I don't know if you can see these little walnut seeds. I sandblasted this with like a walnut media, and it's, I don't say it's full of it, it's mostly out, but as you can see, there's still shit falling out. So I gotta get this all cleaned up, obviously masked off all the way around the outside, and then we're ready to go. Eventually. The other thing I gotta remember to do is I gotta drain my compressor. Tried to drain it the other day, and there was just like, it wouldn't drain because you know what water does when it gets really cold? There was just like a big chunk of ice in the bottom of my compressor because I don't drain it enough. So I tried to drain it and it was frozen. So gotta make sure I drain that. And then I do have a new filter for this guy. It says change immediately when it's white. Well, it's been white for a while and I've been spraying like that. I ordered one last time, I ordered some stuff, so we'll change that. And yeah, that's the plan. Let's get to work. I guess the first thing we'll do, I gotta get rid of these, although there's windows all the way around this thing, and no matter where I look, there's always a glare coming in the daytime. So I need to get some shades or something so it kind of makes better footage, I think. Anyways, I digress, whatever that means. I think the first thing we'll do is break the air hose out and just blow everything off real good. You know, we're gonna have to try to get all that dust off of there, obviously off to what we're working on, get everything blown off, and then look it all over real good, see if there's anything I want to do as far as, you know, adding more filler, sanding spots I missed or anything like that, and then we'll go from there. After initial inspection and some air, I think we're doing pretty good, except for no matter how much I blow and then suck with the vacuum, I keep finding more of them little walnut shells, so I'll have to repeat that about, I don't know, 3,000 more times. And then the only other thing back here, I think I'm gonna try, I know I've hand sanded all this stuff, but there's a little bit of flaking in this paint right here. I want to see what I can do to get some sanding in there so that'll stick. And then maybe I'll just hit the back of the seat frame there with sandpaper real quick, just so there's a little bit of something for the primer to bite to there. And then cleany, and we should be good to go. Well, as usual, I had other stuff come up, had a bit of a plumbing emergency in the house. So I didn't get much done yesterday, so it is the next day, and I'm back to continue where I left off. We're gonna try to get this thing actually sprayed today, tomorrow, today, hopefully. I got the heat rolling because it is, even though it looks nice and sunny out there, it's only like 40 degrees and it's, yeah, 42 degrees in here. So it'll warm up as I'm doing the work, and then we'll put the walls down and throw another heater in here and crank it up. So I think that's about all the time and energy I'm going to spend on the trunk. I spent tons more time on it before today. This was just kind of final touch-ups. Basically, I just kind of scotch-brite it or hit what I could up in there, you know, a little better, went over everything, sanded down this weld-through primer that I had sitting on there, blew it all off real good. I'm going to call that good. Obviously, I'm going to blow it out a couple more times. For now, I think that's it for there. I was gonna hop in here and blow some stuff out of the inside, but there's, you know, so much stuff in here. I got the old vacuum out, so we're gonna try to suck some of this up so we're not just blowing it all over the place, moving it around. That's the next step, and then we'll, I don't know, start masking. I'm over here working on the inside of the trunk lid now. I just had to kind of touch up the edge. Got to get these a little better still. My battery died for my wire wheel. And then I'll probably hit the whole thing with like 80 grit on DA just to make sure there's no surface stuff starting. But anyways, I tried to sandblast this thing with these walnut shells. And I keep sucking them up and then sticking air in these various holes and blowing for a minute, and I get more, and then I suck them up and I get more. I should have had the camera running, so I probably won't get any more now, but I thought I'd show you that. It's like it just keeps coming. That's nuts. Get it? Nuts? Walnut shells. See if we can get some more. A little bit more already. Probably be finding this stuff in my car for years to come. I thought it was a good idea at the time. Didn't work for the darn though. All right, we got a little bit more. We'll suck that up and try again. It just keeps coming out of there. I feel like I could keep doing that till the end of time, and I'm gonna keep getting those little nutshells out of there. I'm down to where I just get a couple each time, so I'm gonna sand it again. I think my battery's charged, so I'll touch this stuff up and I'll take it down. I've taken it down and moved it around and kind of shook it up or whatever. I'll do that again. We'll put it back up there and blow her out. And then it should be ready to Spent a little more time sanding on that, blowing on it. I think I got most of the shells, walnut shells out of there. And that's as good as it's gonna get for me. I got this stuff, the latch and this little pin cleaned up. Could probably do a little more maybe in here. It's all feathered out though, so it's the trunk jam and inside the trunk. So I already spent way too much time on it. I spent a little more time going through this. Everything should be good to go. I sanded down in there a little bit just with what's it called? The little purpley scruffy stuff. You know what it's called. Scotch-Brite. Just to make sure anything that was, you can see where it's kind of blown off there, anything that's loose is off. So hopefully everything else will stick in there. That should be all clean. I got to cover up these bolts. Probably get this rod out of here finally. I don't know why I haven't done that already. And then of course do some masking. Cleaned out the inside pretty good. And the trunk is all ready as well. Again, I could probably spend a little more time. And eventually someday I might end up having some orange paint coming through up here because I couldn't really sand that stuff that good. I obviously did what I could. And again, it's in the trunk. So what do you do? You know, what's a guy to do? Do the best I can do. So I think I'm finally ready to start masking. So we'll go find some tape and some paper and get busy. Okay, for now, I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint the, I don't know what this is called, the trunk jam maybe, where the seal goes. So I'm gonna mask out here. I guess technically I could let the primer overspray onto the body, but then I gotta scuff it and everything later. So I don't know, I'm just gonna mask it off. There is lots of work or little work that needs done inside this little channel here, but we'll deal with that later. You know, I gotta body work this area down here. I don't know if you guys can even see that. So that'll need some body work. But I think that's my plan for now. I'm just gonna mask this outside, obviously all the way around the window. We'll spray all that. Yeah, we'll do it like that, I guess. Right or wrong, that's how I'm doing it. Probably wrong, I know. Well, I hope it's not wrong, but it's probably wrong. Oh well. Ooh, I had a couple of these little rubber seals to get out of there that were all cracked up. They're already all gone on the other side. There was two left on this side. Figured I'd take them out. This one came out easy, but this one where the taillight wiring goes through was a bugger. But we got her. Well, there's my sad attempt at masking the trunk area. I'm not a professional. I can't even wrap a Christmas present, so I just gotta struggle with it and see what it ends up with, and I don't know. I think what needs covered is covered. Probably need to add a couple more pieces of tape back there. I tried to kind of block off, so I'm not gonna be spraying a bunch of overspray inside. So that's that. I gotta do the same thing up here. We'll mask around the body I'm not painting. We gotta put some along underside of the floor, and then on the trunk we'll do just kind of around the edge, and eventually we'll spray some primer. Time for a quick Montana garage tech tip. If you got to get inside the car still to mask off some holes and get the clutch push rod out of the way, you should do that before you mask the doors shut. Ask me how I know. I know because right now I'll be unmasking one of these doors to get inside to tape off those holes. Learn from me. I was just coming over to the camera to say I got everything masked off, and then I realized I don't have everything masked off. I still have to put something along the bottom of the floorboard down here so we don't get a bunch of overspray on here, which again, who's ever going to see it, it probably wouldn't matter, but I'll take a few minutes and throw some tape and paper up there somehow. All right, let's see. I'm not sure if this is the right way. I'm going to start with a piece of tape on the back side of this. It'll stick to this Raptor liner about halfway anyways. Sticks to my fingers. Yeah, maybe I can stick a piece of paper to that then and just fold it back. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll try that. I don't know, something like that maybe. All right, let's check out some more non-professional paint masking. I don't know how a guy should have done this, but I stuck a piece on here and I actually have it taped back. And then I was thinking it still could get a little overspray, so I just taped this piece to that piece, just kind of as like a little skirt. It's probably gonna blow around, I know, but I think that'll keep any overspray off the bottom of the car, which is the only nice part of the car. Whoa, can you see me? It's a little sunshiny over here. Hopefully that'll keep a little overspray off the bottom of the car, which like I said is right now the only nice part of the car. So we got that done. The trunk, I threw some masking just all the way around the edge. We already saw back there. So what is up now? I'm gonna blow everything off one more time and then move everything out of the way. And then it's time for paint booth engage. All right, welcome to my makeshift paint booth. We got the plastic rolled down. I got the heat rolling. It says it's like 65 degrees in the room, but the metal's gotta be 65 degrees, 53 right there, 53 right there. So we're just gonna let the heat roll for a little bit. I'm gonna lose a little bit heat. I don't know if you can see up there. I have, actually the seats for the 55 are up there and one of them fell down a little bit in a windstorm the other day. It poked through the plastic. I might fix it. I might not. I'm gonna go in and get the primer. I have to mix that up and then I have to wipe everything down with wax and grease remover. So I'll blow everything off one more time. I moved some stuff out of the back corner. I have a little hole cut in the wall back there. It used to be a doggy door, so I'll throw a fan in front of that for kind of some exhaust fumes and we'll get ready to spray. Time to mix up the primer. Again, I'm using SPI Southern Polyurethanes Epoxy primer. This is what I sprayed the frame with. This can be left as a top coat. It doesn't have great UV protection, I guess. I think I read somewhere that they improved the formula, maybe now it does, but anyways, I think you're maybe not supposed to leave it for a top coat like on your vehicle if it's gonna be in the sun, but works great, I guess, for like I did frames and the Firewall where it's not exposed to sunshine. Strong and durable, supposed to last a long time, and I like the way it looks. I talked to my buddy David from the Tri-5 Mob. He does paint and body work, and so I'm not totally shooting in the dark. He kind of gave me an idea how much to mix up here. So I'm gonna go with 2 paint cups full, which my paint cup looks like 20 ounces, so that might be, he said like 48 ounces would be his guess. So that's probably, I'm probably gonna end up just mixing all of this. You can see in there without me spilling it all, but I may not even have, I have another can inside. I'm gonna have to break that out. But this stuff is mixed 1-to-1, and normally I would just mix it in one container. And theoretically, if I've been mixing it right the whole time, I should have the same amount of this left as I have this left. But I'm gonna pour them into 2 separate ones first, just to make sure I have the same amount. I don't wanna put 18 in here and only have 14 in here or whatever, you know. Like I say, they should be the same because it's been mixed 1-to-1, but I'm sure it's never exact completely. But in theory, we should be good. I'm just gonna do it this way to find out for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna have to break out the new stuff probably. I got 12 ounces here. I'm pretty sure I have more of this, so I'm just gonna pour it right in there. There's 24, so I had just a touch more of that. There's a touch more of that in there too. You just can't really get it out. So we'll call that good with this round. So I'll have to break out the new gallon and mix more because this isn't going to be enough. All right, so now the instructions say wipe it down with their SPI waterborne wax and grease remover. Let it set for, I thought it said 30 minutes before. Now it says 45 minutes in the new sheet they sent me. I thought I had a spray bottle, but I can't find it, so I guess I'm just gonna wipe her down. Hard to get all these little nooks and crannies. Do the best we can. I basically went over everything twice in hopes that I didn't miss any spots, because it's pretty hard to be real systematic with all these things in the way. Anyways, I got to do the same thing in the trunk, and then on the trunk lid, which I still have sitting outside of the paint booth. All right, got that all whooped. Now we wait 45 minutes. I got a few other things I can do in the meantime. 5:46, so 6:30, we can start spraying. All right, here we go. Everything is warm enough. I blew everything off. I wiped everything down. I let the stuff sit the time it needed to sit. The primer's been activating or inducing, I think they call it. I always got to kind of read through a checklist or read the instructions, because I haven't done this enough, and I always feel like I'm missing something or there's something I'm screwing up. But I think I got the gun set how I want it, and I got the heat off, fan blowing some air out. Guess we're ready to go. First coat supposed to be pretty light. If you can get fish eyes if the first coat's too heavy, supposedly. I'll see what I can do. It's gonna be kind of hard to do this trunk way up in here. Very good for a white coat, I don't think. One coat down. Status report. One first coat, I guess, down. Firewall, I think, looks decent. I don't see nothing real funny with that. You can see the filler through it still. So I tried to keep kind of light with the first coat. I tried that back here too, but there's so many different angles and whatnot that I think it actually ended up pretty heavy, and there's lots of funky looking stuff, fisheye looking crap. And again, they say that could be if you're too heavy, but I mean, I wiped it all down, but there could definitely be some contaminants. It's not like I'm in a professional body shop here, but I did wipe it all down with the wax and grease remover, so you know, I'm surprised that there'd be like contaminants right there. Whatever, it's just the trunk. Hopefully it'll look a little better with a couple coats, and then this is gonna get the Raptor liner, so good enough hopefully. And then inside of the trunk lid also, I mean, we're just going for black. Time around, I got to do the little lip here, I guess, and hinges. I kind of missed them. All right, I'm gonna go get some fresh air, and we'll be back in 25 minutes or so.
Back for round 2. Let's do it on fast motion this time.
All right, after coat 2 status report, Firewall I think looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of junk in it, and there's definitely some orange peel looking crap. It's so hard to get like down in these. I tried adjusting the fan, but if I shine a light in there, there's still spots in there that need some more. I had a little bit more in the gun. I mixed up a little bit more. I might try to do kind of one more overall just on the Firewall, and then try to adjust the fan and squirt down in those areas. Trunk looks all right. There's just a lot of junk in it. As it dries, the sheen, it kind of dulls, so it won't be as, you know, there won't be as much sheen, supposedly, they say. So it'll be good enough, but still kind of fisheye and some junk in it. And then same thing in the trunk, lots of little specks. And then when I shine a light, there's spots up above the wheel tubs and stuff that I'm having a hard time getting to. So again, I'm gonna adjust the fan on the spray gun and try to get up in there. It's so tough. I don't know how you guys do it, but on my spray gun, I guess it's over there, but you know, I got the spray gun, and then I got a little adapter, a little connection where the gauge is, and there's a little connection where the filter is. So you got the gun handle, and then, you know, you got like 6 more inches of crap. So it's hard for me to get it up in there. I don't know if there's a different way to set all that stuff up so that, you know, it becomes more flexible or more, you know, maneuverable, I guess I'm trying to say. But anyways, I gotta let some time go by, and then we'll see what kind of damage we can do by adjusting that pattern down to more like a little round thing, and we'll try to direct it back into some of these spots. I'm sure I'll probably just make things worse, but we'll try.
Climbing on in. All right, I got this thing dialed down to a little bit smaller pattern. I'm gonna try to hold the light. I can see, not get my hose or anything all up in the freaking paint. See, I just hit the frickin' trunk with my hose because everything's so long. Now I'm just making runs. It drips. God dang it. Put too much on, I got too much on there trying to squirt it in, and then it just dripped down on the wheel tub. Amateur hour out here. So I'm gonna go struggle doing the same thing in the front.
All right, end of project report. I got done spraying kind of the 3rd coat, trying to touch up the spots that I'd missed, and I kind of did an overall on the Firewall, and then I cleaned up the paint cups. I'm using a different GoPro, so I don't have a screen on here, so hopefully I'm looking at myself. But here we go. I think the Firewall turned out pretty good.
Like your girlfriend, but hotter.
I mean, it's not perfect. Again, it'll lose a little bit of its sheen as it dries over time a little bit. It's a little bit like orange peely, but up here I did a pretty good job, I think. There's a little bit of junk in it, a few little specks here and there. And I got some runs on this bracket. These brackets trying to aim the primer down into those things. So tough for me anyways, with all these little nooks and crannies. Overall, I'm happy with the Firewall. yeah, we'll see what it looks like when it dries. And then back here, trunk looks pretty good, I think. Again, it's hard to get it down in these little nooks and crannies. I'm actually going to spray all these little inner panels, I think, with the Raptor liner. Probably just gonna mask this whole thing off, cut these little things out, and then I'll try to blow some Raptor liner down in there with the nozzle too, so hopefully it won't look yellowish in there. Nobody's ever really gonna look in there once it's on the car and up in the air. You'd have to get under and look back, but still we'll try to make it look nice. And inside the trunk, same as I said before, just a lot of junk in it. I got a lot of that stuff that wasn't covered before. Still hard to get like in those brackets in there. And then I was trying to jam stuff in there and I got to run on the wheel tub. I still don't know, I'll see what it looks like if I'm gonna Raptor line the sides or just the floor. I got this door here, but I think if I Raptor line it and then I just, you know, run a blade through there to kind of open it back up, hopefully it would not seal it shut. That would be a bad deal. So yeah, that's how it all looks right now. Well, that's a wrap on this video. I'm gonna come out tomorrow and unwrap this thing and spray some Raptor liner, but that'll be the next video for you guys. While you're waiting, maybe watch one of these two videos. I got membership. Hit the join button and check out the different options. Appreciate those of you that have done that and all the support all you guys give me. And don't forget to comment on this video. Let me know what you like, what you dislike. Maybe give me some tips on how I can improve my spraying or options I have to change the gun setup so it's not so long, so I have, you know, it's more maneuverable to get into these tight spots. I can't wait to spray something that's just normal, like the outside of the car. That almost seems like it's going to be easy after doing all this stuff. So thanks again. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We'll see you on the next one.